Hello, mortals. I am the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. And I have passed a milestone on YouTube recently, hitting 1,500 subscribers. And it's only taken me a year and a half. So I asked on Twitter and YouTube what your assumptions are about me so we can get to know each other a little bit better. So starting on YouTube, from Nicole, Dark Between the Pages, I am awful at these. I am going to say that you are the most awesome person and booktuber around. Oh, and you enjoy editing your videos. Well, thank you. Do I enjoy editing my videos? That's sort of a love-hate relationship. Sometimes when I'm really into it and I've started, I do get into a rhythm and I really enjoy it. Sometimes when I know I have a few videos to edit, it just takes a lot of motivation to start editing. And if you know my videos, they are kind of heavily edited, so it is a long process, and sometimes I get tired and think, oh, what am I going to have? I try to do 2 videos a week. Oh, am I going to be able to do it this week? So it is a love-hate relationship with editing. Amybooksit asks, I assume your husband is not interested in YouTube BookTube at all, so we will never meet him, but I am sure he is amazing anyway. Yes, he is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, he's not really into BookTube at all. He's not a big reader. Sometimes it's the differences that draw you together. He does watch YouTube a lot. I don't know, maybe I could figure out a way to get him on some type of challenge or something. Maybe I could have him do Shelve It or Shove It once, and he would choose my books based on the cover. That's a little bit scary. But we'll see. I'll never say never, but yeah, he's not really into the BookTube YouTube thing. Okay, this next one is a loaded question. JR Dabbles asks, you are older than your costume makeup suggests. Well, that begs the question, how old do I look in my BookTube Goddess outfit? So if you would say a woman in her 60s, then yes, I am younger than this costume suggests. And daoaravida, am I saying that right? Your favorite genre is fantasy. That is absolutely correct. I like fantasy, adult fantasy especially, more than other genres, although I do like science fiction and horror, science fiction more than horror, a lot. And I don't consider young adult really a genre, but if it was, I think I would choose adult over young adult. But again, that depends on the book, because there are some great young adult fantasy novels. But in the speculative fiction, which includes horror, science fiction, and fantasy is definitely my favorite. Going on to Twitter, Eric from BreakevenBooks says, you prefer tea over coffee. Well, actually, I am a big coffee drinker. I drink probably about a pot of coffee a day, no joke. I've always been a big coffee drinker, usually drink it black, and I have such a high tolerance to coffee that it really doesn't keep me up or anything. I could drink coffee at night before going to bed and it wouldn't faze me. But as far as tea goes, I don't actually like the taste of tea that much. If I am going to have a tea, my favorite would be Earl Grey because of the bergamot, gives it that nice smell. So ConnorStompanato assumes that you mostly only rewatch older movies. Why would you assume that? Now the truth is, me and my hubby usually watch recent releases on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, but I have to admit, I do love older movies. If I see something on TCM with an old Betty Davis or Joan Crawford or Judy Garland, Judy Holliday, Rosalind Russell, or any of those classic strong female actors, I do enjoy watching those retro movies. And there are a bunch of movies from the 80s which I find nostalgic, which I may rewatch if it happens to be on. But I don't just watch old movies. E assumes that you're really good at thinking games like chess or Scrabble. Well, I don't play them that often, so I can't say I'm really good at chess or Scrabble. I do know how to play chess, and people have said I'm good for how infrequently I play. And Scrabble, my father was sort of a champion Scrabble player that he was almost impossible to play when he was alive. He's passed away. So I never liked playing Scrabble with him. If you ask me what type of games I prefer, it is usually strategy games. For instance, Risk is one that everyone knows, or Settlers of Catan if there's resource management. And even in computer games, my favorite are turn-based strategy games. Not real-time strategy, but turn-based. So, Blood and Final assumes you've always had an eye for a fantastic wig and strong eyeshadow game. Well, I hope I've improved with my eyeshadow game since I've started BookTube. The whole makeup process since I've started BookTube has been quite a journey, and I hope I've improved in that regard. I think I have, because really when I started this channel, I wasn't a professional drag queen. I just did it occasionally, and I've always been a huge fan of drag, especially since Drag Race has come out. And I thought doing BookTube and drag would be a great opportunity to sort of start a channel and develop my drag skills, such as they are. And as far as wigs go, this is my original BookTube goddess wig, which I got from a guy named Friston, Friston. I'll put a link below to his Instagram. And he's a retired theatrical wig designer, and he'll design drag wigs or theatrical wigs, and he'll put them on sale on Etsy, which you kind of have to, if you see one you like, you kind of have to get it right away. They're about $100 per wig. So I was just going to use this one wig for my entire channel, but I got tired of it. So I sort of went wig crazy earlier in the year and got a bunch of wigs, which I've been trying to cycle around. And I found that some wigs work better on my face than other wigs, but all my wigs are by Friston, who lives in Hawaii. And if you're into wigs, check him out. Nicholas Perez assumes you prefer adult books to young adult. Not a bad thing if true. Well, I would say that is true. But I have sort of a controversial stance on young adult books. Part of me resists acknowledging young adult books as its own category. And I know that's weird, but to me there's children's books, including middle grade, and adult books, including young adult. But I actually think that the young adult category sort of hamstrings authors into making their characters perpetually teenagers, because to stay in the young adult category, you can't evolve them above a certain age, I think. They almost have to have some type of romantic relationship. I just feel that young adult is sort of a marketing category more than a real book genre category. But that said, I've read some great young adult books. Probably my favorite young adult author is Marissa Meyer. I love the Cinder series, and I was very impressed by Renegades. But overall, I think you're right that I do prefer adult over young adult, at least in the aggregate. I've read more adult novels that I've enjoyed rather than young adult novels. But again, I think a good book is a good book no matter what category it is. And finally, Rogier assumes that you hate chocolate. It randomly popped in my mind. Maybe because I asked around Halloween and everyone has candy on their mind, but I do not hate chocolate. I do enjoy chocolates once in a while. I prefer milk chocolate over dark chocolate. As far as my favorite candies, I kind of like chewy candies like licorice or gummy bears or Swedish fish or some of those sour candies, those Sour Patch Kids. But no, I do not hate chocolate. Thank you for your assumptions about me. Thank you for everyone who contributed. Thank you for everyone who subscribed to my channels that has gotten me to 1,500 subscribers. I really am very grateful to everyone who has watched my channel and kept with me. I know this is an unusual take on doing booktube videos. This old crusty drag queen coming out and giving her opinions. But I hope you'll stick with me and maybe we'll get another 1,500 subscribers and maybe one day I'll even be monetized. Who knows? But thank you again for everyone who's watching, and until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.